Hey, what's up guys? It's Toxic here, and today I want to talk about something really interesting that crossed my mind earlier. And as you've seen from the title, the thing that crossed my mind is actually what if Roblox added a trade hold system. And basically the way that a system like this works is where when two people complete a trade, they can't trade their items off again for a set amount of time. Like for example, if it was set to 7 days, then once these two people complete a trade, the items that they received in the trade would be locked in their inventory for 7 days. Now, needless to say, it would probably devastate the trading community as a whole. I just want to say that right now, like, that is pretty obvious that that's going to be an effect of it. However, I'm going to talk about why this popped into my mind and why I think that it could potentially be something in the future. And of course, towards the end, I'm going to talk about what I think would happen if it were to actually be a thing. Now, the reason why this popped into my mind to begin with is actually because I remembered that there's Roblox gambling sites. And if you guys didn't know, well, now you know that there's Roblox gambling sites. Now, I want to say right now that I have never actually visited one of these websites to know how they function, but I do know that they're a thing, and I do know that they utilize the trade system to actually allow people to gamble on their websites. Because that's obviously the only way that they could reliably give the item to the person who won. And I'm more than sure a lot of you are probably thinking, how did you get the idea of a trade hold from this? Because obviously Roblox could do a number of things, such as shutting down the website pretty obviously, or doing literally anything else to try to prevent it before doing something drastic like that. And the main reason why I actually thought of a trade hold system is because CSGO actually had a similar problem where there were a lot of gambling sites out there and people would, obviously trade their items to an account and gamble their items like that. So what Valve did is they actually added a 7-day trade hold, which is actually still a system in place right now. Like if you were to go trade an item on CSGO, you would have to wait 7 whole days before trading it again with somebody else. So my mind kind of drew a parallel to the CSGO situation there regarding the whole, Roblox gambling stuff. But there's another reason why I think Roblox might actually think about adding a trade hold system, which is actually because of how many scams go on and how many accounts get compromised and then their items get stolen, traded off a million times, and it ends up with somebody. And of course, sometimes the person gets to keep the item. And it's just a whole big mess. So obviously this whole mess would be mitigated if there's a trade hold system because the person could only trade it to one account and then it's stuck there for 7 whole days, which gives Roblox time to obviously deal with the compromised account, ban the people who got the stolen item, and so on and so forth. But you see, that's another way that the trade hold system seems like it's a somewhat favorable option for Roblox. And if you were to combine both of those with the fact that Roblox trading in general isn't very big to begin with, it really does start to seem like that's something that Roblox could potentially think about adding in the future. But yeah, now that I've explained what a trade hold system is and why Roblox could potentially add it, I want to talk about what I think would happen if they were to implement it, and also I want to share my thoughts on the matter. And really quickly, I want to say that I am not really in a support of a trade hold system, and I know I'm kind of biased because I'm someone who really likes trading, even though I haven't done it in a long time. I'm someone that really enjoys trading. Like for example, I have over 100 trading videos on my channel from the past 4, almost 5 years. So it's pretty clear that I really enjoy trading on Roblox. But moving on to what I think would be the effects of Roblox adding a system like this. Like I said earlier, I think that it would devastate the trading community, but I don't think it would necessarily be the end of trading as a whole. Now the reason why I say that is because of course it's going to push away a lot of traders, especially the people who trade and they don't have many items in their inventory, and again also the people who have not that much value to begin with. Because both groups of people would be affected the most by this, by far. Because if you were to take a look at somebody who has a lot of value, they typically don't have all of their value in one large item. They typically have it spread across a bunch of different items, which means that they won't really be affected by this nearly as much, because I'm more than sure if you were to take a look at somebody who has, millions of value, some of their items they have been holding on to for at least 7 days, because they have more than just 1 or 2 items in the inventory that they could trade. Now another effect that I think would happen if Roblox were to do something like this is I think a lot of the items on Roblox would increase, especially items with good demand and a low amount in circulation, because when you trade one of these items off, it's going to take 7 whole days for it to go back into circulation. So what this means for those items is that there's an item with good demand, which means that a lot of people want it, and yet another one is taken out for 7 whole days, which means that there's going to be less and less for people to trade for, which in turn is probably going to increase the prices for these items. And I think that this is definitely going to happen for smaller items as well, especially ones with good demand in general, because these items get traded around a lot, which means that a lot of copies of these items are going to have trade holds on them, meaning that there's going to be less and less in circulation, which is going to result in people potentially offering more just to get their hands on it. But yeah, that's just my predictions on what would happen if Roblox were to implement something like that. And obviously this is all just speculation because like I said before, this is just something that popped into my mind as an idea that Roblox could potentially do to solve the issues that they're currently having. But I want to hear what you guys think about all this. Do you guys think that a trade hold is a good idea for Roblox to add in the future? And if so, what do you guys think would be the effects of Roblox adding something like that? Let me know down in the comments. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.